Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Shane Baker with Shane Baker Studios, and welcome to how I shot this. What I'm going to do is deconstruct an image that I've photographed and show you guys exactly how to recreate it if you choose to. So we're going to go with this one. It's been kind of popular on Instagram, and it's a photo of Angelina. She's a dancer, and it's a flower photo shoot. These are a ton of fun to do. They get really messy, and so I'm going to show you exactly how we got this shot. So we've got a video here. And the first thing you're going to notice is that I've got an assistant. So Kate Moore, she's also a photographer. She interns with me in my studio, and it's super helpful having an extra pair of hands to help out. So as we go through here, you'll notice that we've got flour. We bought it at Walmart. It's like $1.50, super cheap. And we experimented with a lot of different areas on where to put the flower on Angelina because she's going to explode in her dancing movements, and we were trying to capture the right look, the right throw of the flower to get it kind of a big look to her. So you notice that she's grabbing some here, so she's going to have it in her hands. We've got it on her neck, on her back, and here I am set up for the shot. You're going to notice the movement, boom, right there. Look at that. So we'll go back to that. Here's her movement. So you'll notice the reason that we set it up on her back and on her neck was because she was going to be throwing herself backwards, and that was going to allow that flower to lift up with her. We also tried putting some down here in between or behind her knees. It didn't really do much, but we thought we'd give it a try. So first thing you'll notice is that I am shooting on a tripod. Super important for a couple reasons. Number one, I don't have high-speed sync lights in this particular studio. So that means that I am maxed out at about 1/200th of a second on my shutter speed. She's moving really fast. And in order to get tack sharp images, I had to minimize the amount of movement because I knew that I wasn't going to be able to shoot over 1/200th of a second. So putting it on a tripod eliminated my movement and allowed me to get a more stable image. The final image is still a little softer than I'd want it to be, and that's just because she's moving so fast relative to what I could shoot with the shutter speed. So we'll continue on through here. So there's her final movement. You notice that I am tethered, and here's my tether cord. So we had music playing, super important, especially if you're shooting with a dancer. And right here, Kate and I are going through and reviewing the image, and I use Capture One software to tether. And one of the reasons I do this is because instead of looking at a tiny screen on the back of my camera, I've got a laptop with a bigger screen that I can go through and look at these images. And what I'm looking for is where's my light falling on her when I finally take the shot. Dancers are so fun to shoot, but they are dynamic. So it's very different than a modeling shoot or a portrait shoot where you can just kind of make the person be relatively stationary, set up your lighting, you grab the shot, maybe have them change up a couple facial expressions, and that's about it. With dancers, their whole body's in movement. So we would set up the light and we would take a test shot and it would look great. And when she would finish the movement, she would complete the action. We noticed that there was a big difference in the lighting, like maybe there was some shadows in the wrong area, the highlights were in the different spot, maybe she would be completely off frame. So we would set up the composition to where it looked great when she started the move, but by the time she finished it, she'd be completely out of the frame, or a piece of her would be. And so you have to be more creative and anticipate where your model's going to be. So you have to take that into consideration when you're setting up your composition ahead of time. And using Capture One helped us to get a better idea of what changes we needed to make. So for example, we would set up the shot, compose it, and it wouldn't be composed properly in the image to start with. What we were composing for was what the final image, where she was going to end up at, what that was going to be. So we might be off a little bit at the start, but by the time she finished, it looked great. And then we would take a look at the lighting. So we'll go through here, and you'll notice that a few things with the light. You'll notice there's like a reddish purple tint back here, as we have a gel on a light back here, and we've also got a strip light over here on the right hand side. And that is super important because what that strip light is doing is it's what's highlighting all that flower behind her. So okay, we'll pause here. Here's the strip light, and here's Kate for a second shot. We've also got this huge umbrella that we left here, and this is what brings out the highlights in her. So that umbrella is what brought out all this great lights and highlights on her. That strip light is what allowed you to see the flower from behind her. And you also see that there's a little bit of a rim light right here. That's that strip light. So coming back to the video, this was a second shot that we did. It was more of a portrait shot, also really fun. What we couldn't get the flower to fall the right way or to blow up around her the right way that we wanted to just on her own. So I told Kate, get behind her and just toss it at her. So Kate's back there chucking flour at Angelina, and the professional that Angelina is, she rolled with it, and it was incredible. The shot that we got was awesome. So the trick is to have Kate throw this, not get in the frame, be out of the way of the flash, and be able to get it just at the right time because Angelina is in motion. So all those things had to come into place, and it was repetition over and over and over and over, shooting these images to make the final one happen. So here we go, boom, right there. So I think we took that shot maybe 15, 16 times before we finally got the one that we really liked. Now, Tether also helped us because we were able to see it on a larger screen to make sure that we really did get the image that we wanted to. I mean, the hair had to fall the right way, the lighting had to be great, the flower had to hit her at the right way, her arms had to hit the right way when she released that flower. There was just a lot of things that had to happen, but it was a lot of fun. So I love working with dancers. And one of the great things about doing really complicated shoots like this is because when you practice at this level, this is what I practice at. I always challenge myself. So when I have a client, if you need headshots or your company is rebranding themselves and I need to show up with some lighting, I've already prepared for any kind of situation I can be in because I'm practicing at a much higher level than most clients are going to ask me to perform at on a photo shoot. So that's one of the reasons I do these, is to challenge myself as a photographer, and not just to create great images, but so that when clients hire me, they're absolutely getting the best images possible because they're not getting a photographer that they're paying to practice at. Does that make sense? So if you hire somebody to do, for example, some headshots, and there might be a particular thing that's unique about it, if it's not a professional photographer or somebody that's practiced that often or at a higher level, then you're basically paying them to practice on you, right? So this is how I practice. And unless you're going to have me throwing flour on you, you should be pretty good. So once again, this is how I shot this. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope that helps. Also want to let you guys know I'm going to be hosting a workshop on January 2nd. It's an all-day hands-on workshop. I'm limiting it to 15 people only. So make sure you sign up. What we're going to do is teach you how to go from shooting in auto to shooting in manual and shooting in all kinds of light, indoors and outdoors. Get great portraits. We're going to have a free gift for everybody that shows up. We're going to give them reflectors. Lunch is going to be served as well. It's going to be a catered event. So like I said, 15 spots only. If you know someone that could benefit from this, or you could benefit from this, definitely click the link in the description, sign up. I hope this helps, guys. Take care.